enjoyed the campus. I thought it was really nice. I got to meet the pitcher who brought us on the tour. He was a freshman last year. He was like their best freshman pitcher the year before. He told me a little bit about the program, and then we met back up with the coach after, and he showed around like the athletic facilities, and he sat down in his office, and that's how it all happened. But um,
The coach seemed to be excited about it and had like a whole itinerary laid out. Even sat and had lunch with us, with his assistant coaches. Gave us a nice tour of the school. I mean, everybody that saw us, whether they were students or faculty, even security on campus, every time somebody would see us, they're like, "Oh, coach, is that the new recruit you're dealing with?" So like everybody, he must have talked them up. It made it a big deal, which was it was a good feel. Um, I didn't mean to jump in there, Joe. I just wanted to tell you a little perspective from my end. It was very he was excited to have Joe there and show him around and felt like he was really wanted. And I got to be honest, I know Joe had to do his part to pull it all together, but you guys were on the front end of it. And as a result, it worked out perfect. So I got to thank you.
Well, no, I mean, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, Joe, like that's obviously a great feeling, walking around campus feeling wanted, right, by like a coach and a program and a school. It feels like, well, it is going to be your home, right, for the next 4 years, and
yeah.
you pretty much meet the people that you're probably going to be friends with for the rest of your life at a school like that, right? So it is an exciting time. It's very exciting. It's very serious, and yeah, we're super excited for you. Now, when it comes to this program, in before you guys started, like what were you guys doing before you started until you guys signing up with us, and then that process?
I mean, I was kind
So
of like emailing coaches a little bit on my own, but nothing like too crazy until like we got on with you, and you really like helped me bring it to the next level.
that, and we were doing showcases and just trying to get out there, really. Um, we had a couple of different conversations with some coaches that didn't really go over as well as I had hoped for. Um, but you did your homework on your end, and brought it to Joe and said, "I need the following," and he followed through, and that's what got us here. Honestly, it was the combination. You did your homework, your groundwork, and then came back to Joseph, said, "I need the following from you." He delivered, and then you put it back together, and then the conversations were had. And again, this wasn't the only offer; it just was the best offer. So we wouldn't have been here as easily without you. Not that it was easy, but we still got it done, and I'm very happy for it.
All
I'm
right.
appreciative.
That's awesome. I mean, before you guys ended up signing up with us, what would you say your biggest frustration or like challenge was with like the whole process as a whole?
Mm.
Joe, you want to go with it, Joe?
You can answer that if you have an answer in mind. I'm trying to think.
So before that, we were kind of just following our gut. We didn't have the real direction that we had with you. And again, it was getting to different showcases and getting in front of different coaches and trying to show them what we could do. But typically, what I found in those cases is when they're holding a showcase, yeah, they'll sell as many spots as they can, but they have their eyes on one or two people at every event, and everybody else is just ancillary. I feel like they're just money makers. That's my gut from what I've learned from them. And in engaging different coaches, you know, it was difficult because we didn't know what their needs were for their teams. So you might be hitting somebody up that has no need for what you bring to the table, even though Joseph's a pretty versatile player. But he's an outfielder. He could play infield in a couple of places. You could also pitch, which is great. But unless you have somebody that has a specific need, it was hard for us to target it. I could tell you that. Like I've told you when I signed up, I'm very good at what I do, and for something like this, I didn't have the insight and knowledge that you have, so I brought you guys in, and you did your homework and found the spot for him, literally. And of the people you brought to him, everybody was pretty accommodating for the most part. Um, you know, I was happy with almost every interview or face to face. And Joe, if you tell me that you feel differently, feel free to correct me. But I feel like everybody was pretty serious, because they did their homework on you.
Mm.
Um, you know, and that was a result truly of you guys doing your work and doing the behind the scenes, making sure it was a good fit. Like I said, this wasn't the only offer. It was an offer, and it seemed like the best scenario. The coach was great, the school was great, the kids seemed really, really good overall. And it's a good feeling. There was a need for him on the team, and the coach expressed that, which was just nice. And it was just, how do we pick that needle out of a haystack as just a player and a parent?
It
That's where
wasn't
you guys
even
come
that
in.
like it wasn't even that like he just like needed like an outfielder. Like he specifically says like if we don't get any more outfielders, we're fine. But he's like we want to have you join the team. And
Exactly. Exactly. But he said, seeing your talents, you would be a very good fit. And that's, and he was excited to show you around and introduce you to people. And again, that was the work from Sparber U. They were out there doing the homework and finding the people that needed him and were a good fit, and showing him what his qualifications are and talking him up. And when they met him, they just said, "This works." So again, we were doing it. I was spinning my wheels to a degree because I didn't have the ability to reach out to people on the level that you do. It's just that's what you do, and they'll take you more serious because you're in it and you know them and you're presenting people for them. So I'm grateful for that. I'm glad we found you, and I would definitely recommend people using your services. 100%.
I appreciate that. Thank you. So Joe, what would you say like the number one or your favorite part of this whole program with us was?
it was very easy to like communicate with you guys just like through the Slack channel and everything. Like whenever I had a question, I just put it in there and relatively quickly normally be able to get back to me with a response as to what I should do or like what you guys thought was the best case scenario and that helped out a lot.
Awesome. Yeah, did you like talking with the guys before calls and stuff like that?
Yeah, it definitely helped because they'd give me like a good preparation as to what the call might be like. Because before I was with you guys, I had never been on a phone call with a coach before or anything, so you helped me know what to expect before like my first ever call. And then I had a few since then, and I just got better and better each time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we definitely seen improvements, as we are going through this process from, the beginning to the end. And we feel like even physically too, like you've made some big jumps in your game and pretty much everything, all the videos you sent us, we kept talking about how much better and better you're getting and stuff like that. And we're like, something's gonna be click here, and then it did. So that was really cool to see. Um, Robert, for parents that are kind of on the fence with signing up with us or not, what would you say to them?
I would say I was on the fence too. I was truly like, what are these guys going to bring to the table that we're not doing? And we had a great conversation. And you said we will get him an offer that makes sense based on what we see here. You were confident. So I believed in you. And, I let it run. I kind of sat back and let you and Joe handle it while watching and giving him my best advice behind the scenes. But honestly, you guys delivered. I was definitely hesitant in front. I'm like, do I really want to take on this expense? Is it really worth it? What if it goes nowhere? Typical thoughts
Yeah.
that a parent's going to have. Like, I'm already spending what I'm spending. I've this far vested into it. Do I really want to spend this extra money? But I can tell you without a doubt, it was well worth it. And I would recommend anybody that's looking to be recruited should definitely sit down and speak to you because you will make it an easier transition, and bring everybody to the table. So again, you thought of schools that we never thought of, and you found people that had a need for his talents and what he could bring to the table, and they listened. And again, worth every penny. I would do it all over again.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, we talked to a lot of families that obviously are, kind of on the fence with everything in general because a lot of them will put their trust in, the travel circuit, travel teams, showcases and stuff like that. As far as the travel organizations and us, what would you say like the main differences in getting recruited would be?
The travel organization, as good as they claim to be, they couldn't shine your shoes. But the reality, they claimed that they had people all over the place, but when push came to shove, they never really delivered. And they had a program, and I went through their program for a little bit. They promised this and that, and then, although they got him playing time, which was great, and they helped make him a better player. There's no doubt. They didn't have nearly the contacts, and this is travel program he's on is probably one of the best out here in the state. And I thought they were going to have more pull than they did, but that's why bringing somebody like you in closed that gap, like zeroed it in, and gave us the ability to do what we did. And I couldn't be happier with the results. He's in a great school, and it's a great athletics program and tons of potential. And the coach was very happy. I was very happy. Joseph's obvious. I was obviously happy. Excuse me. And here we are. But I would recommend, and I will recommend, like I told you, anybody that I know that is coming up on the recruiting process, I'm going to hand them your card and say this is the man to speak to, because they did their job. They gathered people. But they come back to you. You came back to us and say we need X, we need Y, we need the following, and you kept delivering and getting it done. So as long as we're working together, you got the job done, and that's all I could ask. Strongly
Yeah,
recommend you.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, so Joe, I mean, what this looks like from you for you going forward, and we try to like to do things a little bit different here. And what I mean by that is we want this relationship to be ongoing through college.
Hmm.
Okay. So what that means is we want to be able, I want you guys like to send us your schedule. I want to be able to watch some of the games, watch some highlights, follow you through your whole college career because we
That's
want
great.
this to be like a relationship that goes, beyond the game.
Hmm.
And yes, we're able to work together, get you that offer, but that's just the beginning for you. And our team has so much knowledge in college baseball. So we want to be able to help you even further moving forward. So whatever you have, like any questions or any concerns, we will more than happy sit down, talk to you about what the locker room's like, how to handle practices, how to manage the schedule, because, obviously we've all done it.
Yeah,
And we're here to
Sure.
help you throughout your entire college career, and we want you to use us as a resource.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just an
And
added bonus. That's all.
yeah, it's just an added bonus. Baseball's tough, college baseball's tough, being a college athlete is tough. And we want to be able to just make sure that you know that we got your back throughout the whole thing. Okay. So I want you to, be able to reach out to us like brothers. That's how I feel. That's how I like to do it.
That's big. That's really big. And again, you're looked at like that because you helped narrow the gap and get this done. So the respect and appreciation is more than I can begin to tell you. Um, you helped guide him and show him and how to speak to the coaches and what to say and how to say it. And literally, you brought it out of him and made him a better speaker and, more mature as a result than, when he started this process. He didn't know what he was saying to the coaches. He didn't know what their needs were the same as you do. And you would guide him and say, okay, this guy's looking for this, and prepped him with a phone call, and he went into that phone call with some knowledge and information that was made him ready to hit the ground running, which is a step above everybody else that's taking that phone call. So for that right there, it's priceless. I told you that in the beginning. I'm like, yes, it sounds like a lot of money, but if it gets the job done, it's priceless. And now I could tell you that the job is priceless because you did everything you said you were going to do, and then some. So, and Joseph was a little bit of a unique scenario with what happened with his high school career a little bit. So you guys really stepped up and still were able to get this done. Um, to get people that are going to see him for what he's worth, and they did. And you found them. Joe stepped in and sealed the deal, but you know, you guys brought him to the table and helped him through the process. So forever grateful, really.
Well, that's great to hear. And yeah, Joe, when I'm back home, if I ever get back home one of these days, then we should go hitting sometime.
For
I
sure.
That
still
would be
live down the
great.
street.
For
My mom
sure.
lives down the street, so we could go hitting and do some stuff and work on some stuff and you know, on go this relationship as I was mentioning. So
I
the
love
whole
it. I
team
love it.
is so fired up. I mean, we were talking last night and we were fired up for you. We had a group call and we were just like, you know, just amped up because obviously we know how exciting this is for you. So
For sure.
Yeah, it added a little strut to his step. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, well, that's good. That's good. But yeah, once again, guys, I really appreciate you guys hopping on here. I think I sent you guys a link for like the review
I
website we
will.
use.
I'll do.
You
Yes.
guys could go separate on that. That could be good for us.
Sure.
Um, but other than that, if you guys have any other questions for me, Joe, you have my number. You have our whole team's number. Contact us anytime
Okay.
and with anything you need. So,
Awesome. Thank you so
Uh,
much.
Again, I just want to say thank you and let the audience know that I was that hesitant parent saying, how is paying these people to help us get this, done, really going to get it done? I just thought it was another scam in the beginning. And then we spoke and I was like, all right, it sounds realistic. And I gave you a shot because you seemed like a good guy and you delivered. So money well spent. Money
all
well
right.
spent. Thank you.
I'm sure parents are going to want to hear that one. So that'll be
It
definitely
is. It's money well spent. I was that dad saying, really? More money? You know,
right.
it was worth it.
Well, I'm glad it
So
was. So
thank
yeah,
you.
thank you guys.
All right.
Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
All right, sounds good.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, bye.